My name is Karen Holcomb, and I represent the Leadership Southern Maryland program, which is a leadership program for people who are successful professionally, as well as people who are volunteers in our community and have a heart for making a difference. We are seeking to find leaders who want to have common experiences, understanding the issues and opportunities that we share in our 3 counties. The program is designed for folks who either live or work in Calvert, Charles, or St. Mary's County, and we bring them together for a year, or actually 9 months of experiential training or experiential learning, a lot of hands-on, touch, look, see activities. We make a lot of field trips. We go to a lot of the locations in our region that people will recognize, or maybe not. Everything from going to the Criminal Justice Academy in Nanjemoy, to the Chesapeake Bay Field Lab in St. George's Island, to the nuclear power plant over in Calvert, and many other things along with that. We cover subjects related to energy, our environment, the Chesapeake Bay, agriculture. We cover the defense industry in our communities. We have a lot of defense folks who live and work here, particularly in Charles and St. Mary's County, and we also have a lot of folks in Calvert who are associated with defense. It's a big item. We go to the we go to the naval base in the process of doing that, and people have opportunities to do things like ride in a simulator and hear from the leaders and participate actively. We also have programs on the topics of public safety, talking about the entire cycle of violence that can exist, whether from the initial conflict and how people handle it and how they work through the conflicts, or how they do not and how that affects our communities. We visit jails sometimes. We visit locations such as the University of Maryland Fire Training Center in La Plata. Again, trying to get to more than one county with representative things that we share or use together, or that we can learn from each other if we actually go. It's very important to have a class that has every notion of diversity you can consider. We look for professional diversity, we look for geographical diversity, age, we look for people who come from different views in their life, because each one learns from the other. The dynamic of the class experience, and I'll use the Human Services Day that we do. We also look at housing on that day. And everyone, when you're there and you're listening to someone talk about some of the services we have in our community, like Head Start, or the Hope Center in Lexington Park, or some of those kinds of things that are in all of our counties, the warm initiatives that keep people in the winter, and there are similar programs in Charles and in Calvert. We look for people who are going to share what they've done and learn from what other people have done and bring their own perspective to the program, because they really learn from each other. So we want to let people know what it's all about, what the commitment is on their part, and what our commitment is to them. And then we have a long process. We allow them to apply, and they go through an application process and an interview. It is a competitive program. We, when we first started this in 2008, our first class graduated in 2009, we really thought about how are we going to help people get to know each other and work in teams, and not just know the whole group, but have some small group activity too. And this idea came about to let people self-discover in their groups what things they were passionate about and work on projects associated with that. Some of the things that have come from that, the first class that we had, one of the groups came up with this idea that because we were a New Start nonprofit, we didn't have scholarship money, and so they raised scholarship money and set the parameters for how we would be using that money and awarding scholarships each year. In 2010, the second class, they decided that we needed to have, after going to visit the planetarium in Calvert County, which the Arthur Storer Planetarium, they have a real need for their lighting to be renewed, and it's very expensive. And while we haven't changed their lighting through our process yet, what our class members did was create an endowment fund, so that over time, as we mature, we will have funds to do things like changing lighting in a planetarium that affects our whole region. We've done plantings, restoring fresh water over at Dominion Cove in Calvert with many people involved from the community as well as the National Aquarium and all of our alumni and some of our class members. That was class 2011. This year's class, I'm just bowled over. They've got so many things going on, and they're so thoughtful about so many different things. But one that has just struck us is the project to build a habitat home, work with a habitat to help a wounded veteran with home and with making that home accessible. So it's very exciting to see these things happening and see people coming together and sharing a passion and then making a change. And we have classes in September's orientation, and then, as I said, we do energy and the environment in October, defense in November. We skip over December. That's a very busy time in everyone's life. And then in January, we do public safety and housing and human services in February. March is a busy month. We do 2 programs in March. We visit all 3 hospitals in the region, and we also spend an entire day on education. And then in April, we get down to basics, and we do economic development and workforce development, and we meet up at the Blue Crab Stadium, which is just right in April, getting ready for baseball season. And it's a good day in a good location, but it's also a good day for looking at the future. May is a celebration. We have first a multiculturalism day that is a very self-discovery experience, and then we have our wrap-up and a graduation ceremony and dinner that's over at Chesapeake Beach Resort and Spa, and Gerald Donovan has been very supportive as a Leadership Maryland graduate for this program regionally, so we appreciate it. The application process is all on the website, so if you go to our Leadership Southern Maryland website, you can find the application, you can find the instructions for applying and what's expected. We do hold interviews in the month of May, so the application's due the 30th of April. Interviews are in the month of May. We're very flexible with schedules for people. We provide lots of opportunities for them to do that. And then we let everyone know at the end of June, and we get on with it, and the next program starts in September. One thing we look for is leaders who are willing to commit the time that it takes to complete the program. And when I say that, I like to say what we're looking for in our communities are busy people, because it's really the busy people who get things done, and that's who we hope will take an interest in Leadership Southern Maryland.